Back in California, Frenchman Lake, Doyle, California. All burned up by the Dixie Fire. Back in Downeyville, where it all started after 7 days, a little over 1,500 miles. Today I think was a record-breaking.
We did 150.
Yeah.
This morning, then we refueled.
I think it's
we've
just
done 181 so far. So that's like
just
330 miles.
330 miles, all the way up from Knott Creek Reservoir there outside of Denio, Nevada, to back to home. We got just a few miles to go.
Miles, 45 miles.
Yeah, 45 miles to go before dark. Too much wind and a big algae bloom has killed the fishing, this time at Knott Creek, normally the home of some very aggressive tiger trout and cut bows, dragging a woolly booger. Vast country. You wouldn't think Nevada would be like this, but it is. Lots of forested little mountain ranges in the basin and range country of Nevada. Summit Lake, that way. Welcome to the Pearl Cabin, Josie Pearl Springs. Right out there to the east is the Black Rock Desert. There's a couple of mines right nearby here. I'll have to look at the map to remember the names. I think Manzanita Mine. There's another old building over there. And then we'll go through the mountains to Summit Lake. And down towards High Rock Canyon. The Bartlett Mine, the Columbia Mine, and the Juanita Mine are right next to here. You've got some power off the Black Rock somehow. Wow. Got a little weather today. We're up here over 7,000 feet. At least it ain't snow. Classic example of marginal VFR conditions for flying. Not only the wind problems, but the lack of ceiling. We've got some light rain in here and it's obscuring the visibility. Plus the low ceilings. Now, there's a valley pass right down there to our right. You would be tempted to get through, but if you get tangled up in these mountains, you might get stuck if you were flying around here. And as soon as you come down a few hundred feet, the visibility begins to improve. That's what just suckers you in these scud running sort of situations. I'd rather be down here instead of wishing I was up there on a day like today. Breezy Pass. Knock you off your bike. Summit Lake ahead. Deploying the gas bag. When you're out of range with your fuel system, get a 1 gallon gas bag. Top it up. Extend your range.
50 or 60 miles.
Another 50, 60 miles,
or
yeah.
80 on yours.
Yeah, 1 gallon. Lahontan cutthroat trout natural area. This is where they raise the cutthroat fingerlings and then move them about the different reservoirs. Improved weather down here at the pass level, but this is what we mean by mountain obscuration and scud running. If you were to come up here today and stay underneath this overcast and get through that high pass up there, you might be in trouble. I wouldn't do it today. I might have tried it when I was a younger Boulder pilot. Not today. Soldier Meadow Ranch and Soldier Meadow Airstrip number 2 and the hot spring ahead. Traffic jam. All cleared up. Here's the Soldier Meadow Ranch. At one time it was a bit of a guest ranch, but nowadays it's just a working ranch, and they've got an airstrip here and a hot spring behind us here. So don't, when you come out here to this backcountry, come prepared. Don't be bothering these guys for gas. It's like a 100-mile round trip for them to get fuel out here to the ranch. They've got a big fuel farm here, but it's for the working ranch. Don't come out here unprepared and expect them to sell you any fuel at any price. It's too much trouble for them. Hot springs out that way. And High Rock Canyon down this way. So this is the Fly Canyon slide, wagon slide, where they would lock up the wheels of the wagons and just slide them down into the canyon. Of course, the immigrants didn't have this nice graded road that we're on today. They were working their way right down the canyon here. They just moved the rocks out of the way and head down the canyon, or up the canyon. So welcome to the High Rock Canyon, a famous piece of American Western expansion. Immigrants trying to get to the gold country. A lot of them ventured through this High Rock Canyon on the Applegate Trail. 1849, thousands of immigrants are trying to get to the gold country. They knew very well the story of the Donner Party and were looking for different routes to avoid the fate of the Donner Party, and this was one of those routes. High Rock. Inside the Post Office Rock cave. So, of course, getting information out on the trail, virtually impossible, but you could leave messages inside of prominent places like this for immigrants behind you. Let them know that you at least got this far.
Romans go home.
Romans go home. 1977. And we got some modern stuff in here, unfortunately, too, now. So a lot of the immigrants would have hit this trail about October of 1849. So they're desperately trying to get across the last bit of mountains before the snow flies. And of course, this is after they've barely survived the Black Rock Desert crossing before getting into here. And for provisions, they're kind of relying on their livestock that's tramping along with them, but the trail's so tough on the livestock that they're just about shriveled up to nothing as well. So in a lot of cases, you end up having to eat whatever livestock you have left in order to make it this last bit of trail. And then, of course, this is going to end up in, Cedarville, and a lot of these folks are going to end up in Fandango Pass, and they're going to think, oh, we made it. Let's dance the Fandango, only to find out they're still hundreds of miles yet from the gold fields. But they managed to avoid the Donner Pass and the fate of the Donner Party. This is how rocky that is today. Imagine what it was like for the pioneers. Really hard on the cattle. So many thousands of wagons came through here at the time that the wagon ruts, you can still see them right there in this hard pan. Pretty cool. You can see a little bit more of it cutting through, right through there. Back down into the canyon. So there's also plenty of water in the desert if you know where to look. Sometimes there's too much water. That was a deep crossing.
Yeah.
And this canyon gets narrow in spots. We don't know how deep this one is. Maybe we can go around. Well, that ain't deep at all. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Big step there. Shoot.
I'm in a hole now.
Yeah. I'm coming. The garage at the end of the high rock. Not quite the end, almost. This part's pretty fast moving. 10 more miles to Stevens Camp. You definitely want to watch your step on this trail. I got struck at by a rattlesnake back there. I came up on him pretty quick, went to go around him. Sure enough, he started rattling, he coiled up. I leaned right and I picked my foot up as high as I could there, and he just barely tagged it. He was pissed. But I missed him and he missed me. What next? Locusts? It's the Mormon cricket invasion is on. See how many of these you can smash on your way out home. Here at the 12 mile playa access to the Black Rock Desert, where the Burning Man Festival is held each year, and it looks like they got it cleaned up just fine, despite all the media hysteria. Bruno's next, Gerlach and Gas, 12 miles that away. Back in California, Frenchman Lake, Doyle, California. Thanks for coming. See you here.